this is Nate Taves once again, doing a Timing is Everything podcast. Seems like these have been getting better with each drastic story I tell. Or at least that's what the numbers indicate on YouTube. I could be wrong. Anyway, enough to my own horn. Today, slash tonight, is a kind of an interesting one because Thomas is joining me from Texas, but we're doing it over the internet. So that said, my disclaimer for the listener is that we are doing it through iChat video. So if you hear a door slam or a cow moo or something, those are the sound effects that are queued up for telling me who's online and who left being online. So fair warning for that. And so
Hey,
that
Nate,
said, hey, daughters.
I thought it was WeChat.
Yeah, we. You mean it was a small chat? Now, that was a naive question if I ever asked one.
I said that's just my sense of humor.
Yeah. Well, your sense of humor also seems to be oriented towards a certain region south of the border or in the backside.
Hey, I'm still north of the Mexican border, though.
Well, for now. Pretty soon you'll be running for the border.
Probably. As long as you don't end up with a dirty Sancho.
Ooh. I'm gonna let that one just lie there. So it's been a while since we've done a podcast. I know what's going on with you because we've talked on a regular basis. But how about bringing the so-called listeners up to speed?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I'm in Austin, Texas. I still don't have my cowboy hat or boots.
Yippee-ki-yay.
I'm getting there.
Yippee-ki-yay.
What'd you say?
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say that right now. But, well, you know why, but for the audience, PhDs are hard.
Yep.
They really pile it high and deep as the jokes go around.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm taking on cell molecular biology at University of Texas at Austin. And let's just say it's been a bumpy ride. Classes are over my head, and through the woods and around the mountain.
The grandmother's house we go.
Yeah, exactly. I work about 20 hours in the lab, and I live about 8 miles north of the university, so I have to deal with crazy-ass traffic every day. I had little to no idea until my brother told me about 1 week before I left for Austin that it's the 8th worst place for commuting traffic, for during rush hour and stuff like that. I thought I was going to a place that would be better than Boston, Cambridge, but apparently not. Boston was like number 10, I think.
Huh.
But
that's kind of surprising to me, given their reputations.
Right. But all that being said, I have a nice apartment. That's good. But
yeah, but from what I understand, it's an arm and a leg to pay for it.
Yes, but it's a good deal for what it is, and my fiance Sarah is helping me out from a distance financially, so it makes it a little better.
Yeah.
It's a really good deal, like I said, for what we have, and we got like a 2-bedroom place essentially, 1,000 square feet, and a lot of my peers actually are dealing with 500 square feet or less, and they're paying 2/3 the price maybe even a little more than that, but they live downtown, so you get a little bit of distance factored in. But it's cozy, and that's important, right? You don't want to come home to a shit pile
No,
after a long day in lab and work, classes. So
hey,
I'm hanging in there.
uh-huh.
Yeah, just seeing what the near future holds. That's all.
Well, as I always tell you, keep me posted.
Will do.
Right on. The you said you don't want to return home to a shithole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a few of those when I was in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, the infamous story was that of uh, the couch incident, which you can hear on another podcast that I did with Mike M. Holt and Casey Corey. So anyway, go check that out. You'll be in stitches. Uh, and that transitions nicely into oddly what I've been doing. Uh, I've been writing uh, my ass off for about a week now, doing uh, a script called I'd Shake Hands with You, but I See You're Busy, which is again that infamous story. That's the end of the episode. I wrote that first. Now I'm going back and writing the beginning through till you get to the end segment. And so far, 14 pages in total, but the last segment is 9 pages. Uh, Fair warning, I am trying to write it as like a TV 14 thing, even though it's technically an R rating, at least.
I'd say maybe triple X.
Yeah, yeah. And we don't mean State of the Union. Uh, but yeah, so it, it's going, but it's tedious. You may laugh at this, Thomas, but when I wrote God's Waiting Room,
Yeah.
I could crank out 5 pages in an hour.
Wow.
Now, for an hour, I get a page done.
Mm.
And it's not that I've slowed in typing or anything. It's just it for some reason takes that long to get everything out.
That's
Uh,
what she said.
I, just like the first time. Not that you know anything about that, but
I'll let it lie.
just like the first time.
Oh man. The
Uh,
title of your script just keeps popping in my mind.
Aren't they shake hands with everybody so you're busy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the funny thing is that's actually the name of the episode. I don't
Yeah.
actually have a name for the series yet.
Oh, okay.
I still gotta figure that out. I'm leaning towards the senator's wife.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, that's catchy.
yeah, yeah. What would be another one? Any ideas?
Hmm. I don't know. I was trying to kind of reveal the name of the location.
Yeah, it's in Vermont.
Yeah, Burlington College.
Yep.
I don't know. I was trying to think of something like Burlington College, No Man's Land, like that sort of title, but I can't really think of anything clever right now.
And the only other one that I can come up with is uh,
Oh,
High in the Green Mountains.
yeah, that's good. I just actually thought of, you know how you had that show, Burlington College Presents?
Yep.
this doesn't really make sense, but if you could find some way to put it in, it'd be like Burlington College resents.
Yeah, that's the name of the production company for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good Lord. Yeah, the funny thing though about the script is I'm writing this stuff or these scripts so that there's not a lot of popular music used for them. So the script is basically like barren of music. Uh, and I know that the last script in the season that I'm writing, it's 10 episodes. But the last one in that series uses "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year" by Andy Williams uh,
Mm-hmm.
as the ending of the show, and I'm planning on writing it so that basically any bloopers, blunders, or just silliness that gone on during the production of the 10 episodes can kind of just run at the end of that episode.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously it would have to be without uh, the dialogue, or the dialogue would have to be jacked to be heard over. It's the most wonderful time of the year, but
Yeah.
can work that out at a later point.
Mm. Mm.
So that's about the extent of what I've been up to. Uh, Although we did do uh, house hunting for a
Oh yeah.
while,
You have a
and
lot of interesting stories from that.
yeah, there's a couple. Um, we we were originally looking to find a place to offload me from my parents, and we went to Hopkinton, and uh, I think I already told the story on a different podcast, but here it is again. My dad was in the basement of the house with our realtor, and my mom and I were in the kitchen, and I'm leaning on the kitchen island, and my mom goes into the little bathroom just off of the kitchen to see what's going on in there, and she goes, "Oh, nice." I said, "What is it?" She goes, "There's a turd in here." And I said, "That's not very nice." And she goes, "Wait a minute, that's not a turd." I said, "What is it?" She goes, "It's a bat." There was a dead baby bat in the toilet of this house, and nobody had done anything about it. it which is screwy, number one. But uh, number two, yeah, what you would at least think that they should get rid of it in order to have a quasi appealing house. Uh, but that said, when my dad came up from the basement with the realtor, we told them about it. My dad went in and looked at it, and he goes, "That's not a bat. That's a turd with wings." Uh, so then from that, we went through the rest of the house looking at stuff, and then we packed it up and went outside and stood around for a while yakking about the house. And the uh, woman said to me, our realtor said to me, "How do you feel about the house?" And I said, "Well, I don't like it, generally speaking, but you can tell, the other broker that's running the deal on the house, that the house does have a nice uh, feature. It comes with its own bat cave. Uh, the only
Huh.
thing that was missing was uh, Adam West, uh, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, uh, George Clooney, uh, or Christian Bale, and now uh, freaking Ben Affleck. So anyway, that will be interesting. That was the story.
Hmm.
When I said that would be interesting, I was just flashing in my head on the fact that Affleck is now going to play Batman. I still think Liev Schreiber
It
should
seems
have
so
done that.
wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it does. Let him stick to directing very good uh, films. Uh, leave him out of the Batman thing. But I still think Liev Schreiber should have been Batman. He looks the part. You know, you may remember Liev Schreiber from The Manchurian Candidate, the remake, and uh, uh, the Wolverine, or not the Wolverine, X Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
Uh, and what was the other one that he was in? I'm blanking on it. I just had it in my head. Damn. Anyway, uh, just thought he would have been a good one. Anyway,
Hmm.
so speaking of
Hmm.
movies and stuff, uh, you've seen a few movies in theaters. A few more than me, anyway. Uh,
That's for a change, huh?
yeah, yeah. What the hell happened here? It's like I became the guy that doesn't get out to see anything, catches it on video, whereas you
Huh.
went out frequently and saw new movies, and sometimes stuff that I wouldn't even
Hey,
watch.
at least you got the Woody Allen movie, right?
That's
You saw
true.
that.
That's true.
And you saw Machete Kills, right?
Yeah, Machete Kills. Yeah. The, uh, I'll talk about that in a minute, but uh, which
Yeah.
ones did you see?
So I saw Gravity, Sandra Bullock.
And George Clooney.
What's his face? I was
George
George
Clooney.
Clooney,
Yeah.
my man George Clooney. It was actually really good. I was really surprised because from the previews you think, oh, it's just another, sci-fi, stupid space drama. They're floating around and something bad happens. And you're like, oh, that's pretty boring. But somehow they turned that situation and they made it with like a clever script and like fantastic 3D visuals into a really like captivating experience. I was really quite surprised. And I want to thank you for pressing me to go to the 3D version because it was completely worth it. Um, and all I have to say to the audience, I don't want to spoil anything, is that I really liked what happened to George Clooney. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah.
That alone was a movie.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you the last movie that I recall being where something happens to somebody in space. Uh, it was Space Cowboys, if you remember that.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And it was Tommy Lee Jones in
Yeah.
that one. Spoilers, who sacrifices himself. And Clint Eastwood did a fabulous job choosing the end song because it was all about going to uh, the moon or thereabouts.
Yeah.
And it was Fly Me to the Moon, Frank Sinatra. So, anyway,
Hmm.
that's an old goodie. You also saw
Oh,
Captain Phillips?
yes, I did. I was just going to say that. And I thought Tom Cruise. I would have
You
been
had Oblivion on the
holistic.
mind.
Goes from playing zombies to being captain of a ship now. Tom Hanks. I think it's been a while since his return to theaters, right? For like a blockbuster like movie. It seems that way.
No, because
At least
he
me.
was also, what else did he do? He did Larry Crown a couple of years ago. He uh, did another few films. I'm forgetting what they were. Oh, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close.
Oh, he did that? Okay. Well,
Okay.
I mean, it's still been a while. But he did a very good job. I thought the script was entertaining, and he showed like command as captain of the ship, and it was quite suspenseful, not in the same sense as like a horror movie or even like a really suspenseful movie like Hannibal or something like that,
Right.
but like in a different way, like in a very real, dramatic way, like you felt watching the movie as if you were really undergoing like the piracy of the ship, like it was that dramatic and intense and everything. So
Yeah.
that was really cool. It was a cool. I mean, it's based off a true story, and
Right.
from what I understand, with reading some articles on it and reviews, they may have spun it a little more in favor of Captain Phillips as the person, because I guess a lot of his crew members in
Yeah.
real life spoke out against them. But nonetheless, it was still a really good movie. I'd recommend at least renting it if you're not interested in seeing it in theaters. So, um, yeah, I don't know, like the people who played the pirates, I think they're all new actors. I just didn't recognize anybody.
Oh, you know what it is? Is those are actually Somalians.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, I know the Somalis.
Yeah, they're
I
not
mean, they
even
did a good
actors.
job with it. Yeah,
They're not even actors. They're just
yeah.
regular
Well, they
people.
did a great job.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's the old adage: anybody can act.
Mm,
You know,
for sure. Yeah.
even I can pull off an acting job every now and again.
I'm another question. I mean,
Uh,
I speak everything backwards when I'm put on camera, right?
yeah, breast money.
Like press money. Yeah.
For, for those who are listening, breast money is the name of the story that we are just talking about because uh, my mom had uh, cancer when I was in uh, middle school,
Yeah.
and uh, it it I did a fundraiser at the school for uh, it, the it, for raising awareness about it, raising funds for uh,
Press money.
the Surgeon G. Coleman or whatever the hell her name is foundation,
Yep.
and I asked Thomas to help me with it by taping a little video that I'd play against me talking to it on the stage there, and yeah, Thomas was kind enough to do it, but for whatever the reason, uh, he during one of the takes, as we did multiple takes to get the timing down and what have you. Uh, when when one of the takes happened, he uh, was talking and out slips breast money because he was making a plea to raise money for breast cancer research was the line, and uh, outslips breast money. So after that, I just started teasing him every take about it, and I got in trouble for that at the school because I insisted on using the outtakes
Yeah.
from it, and they said you can't do that. That's an NC-17 uh, blunder, and I said, "You're way off base. At best, that's PG."
I know. I can't believe I was called an NC-17.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I also got an NC-17 uh, uh, for my Ripper film that I did at that school,
Yeah.
and also uh, for a short story that I wrote about Jack the Ripper.
And I was gonna say, like, if I were to do a Ripper movie, it'd be definitely an NC-17.
Yeah, well, I would think in yours, it would be a different kind of ripping.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Uh, yeah, I don't know if you can get an NC-17 for that kind of ripping. However, you can get an NC-17 for having two people having sex on a couch, as in the script I'm writing.
Right.
By the way, I wanted to ask you about that. What was uh, your impression of it? Did it match what you thought or you saw in your head when I told you the story?
And more in slow motion. I think it was better because, excuse me one
Uh,
second. We can't get away from any false alarms here. Um, I was gonna say, like, the detail you threw in.
More
Oh
good
my
news.
gosh, the detail you threw in about walking around and having like, the sticky shoes and stuff really, you know, made me realize how disgusting the whole scenario was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely was disgusting. That's for sure. So, dare I ask who was calling?
I don't know, it was the wrong number.
Even better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I have no idea. I called my cell phone too, though, so it makes me think maybe it's somebody else.
yeah. Uh, so, anyway, for those who are listening and only heard the audio, uh, Thomas just got a phone call, so that's what we're talking about. Uh, so,
For once, right?
yeah, you're right.
There is
Uh,
somebody who loves me.
well, I thought that was the idea behind you getting married, but
Or somebody who wants my money. That's probably more like it, right?
I don't think she's necessarily thinking about you in terms of money at the moment.
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about Sarah. I was talking about whoever's calling.
Uh,
And,
that's a possibility.
yeah.
Uh, I don't mean to imply that Thomas's fiance is a gold digger. That it was just the mild joke that I threw out. Anyway,
Yeah.
uh, so script. Uh, you said you thought it was better because of the detail about the sticky feet.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, I guess when I first thought of it, I just focused on the bigger details, no pun intended,
yeah,
which are nicely um, glossed over or alluded to in your script. I think in a very good way to make it PG-13 at least. Um, what was I saying? I completely blanked.
yeah. You're just saying that the script was better than what you had in your head, and that you like
Oh
the
yeah, because I just focused on the bigger details and I didn't really think of like about the whole setting. You really lived in a disgusting place with those guys. I just couldn't believe it. You said, I mean, can I reveal some of it? Like how you had beer in like the medicine cabinets and like in the tub and all this stuff, like things that you use daily.
uh,
And I was just thinking to myself, like, who cleaned all of it? I was like, probably had to be you, or
But
I don't
no,
know.
that's the funny part is that the I'm going to call him by his name because I believe in persecuting the guilty. But this guy, Steve, black guy, he stole from me. Uh, he uh, mopped down the floors in the kitchen and in the bathroom, but he didn't do it all the way, so it was still caked on there. Or yeah, it was like a half-assed attempt at it. And so
Okay,
the RA, who was a recovering alcoholic of all things, uh, had to do it herself, and I feel kind of bad for her having to do that because the mop that she was doing it with was taller than her,
that's really weird.
isn't it though? But yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah, they cleaned it up, and I didn't really do much of anything on it than other than trying not to bring it up to the director of student services.
yeah. But going back to the script,
Yeah.
it wasn't just that detail I liked. I liked the whole thing. But I think the way you split up the scenes by like the time of day, and then it was in the first person, obviously, which was good. And I don't know, it kind of made me feel like as if I was reading someone of like a Charlie Brown episode. I don't know why. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was just like looking at this and be like, oh, here's shit. Here's more shit. There they are. And it's true because you feel that way a lot when you're dealing with people, especially roommates in college. You especially ones that party a lot and stuff.
yeah. Oh, that's the fine part. The
It's interesting.
I didn't uh, I didn't actually write it in the first person. I wrote it as kind of like here's the all knowing camera.
Yeah,
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 the the thing was though that all this stuff is true, and that I've written more of it now. There's a lot of strange things that happen, and not all of them are funny. But
right.
uh, yeah, I thought it would be an interesting series of stories from college life and the various misadventures.
Yeah.
By the way, did you like the Bob Hope kind of thing that I did in there, where my character keeps looking at
The
the
camera?
camera? Yeah, what'd you
Where
think
your
of that
character
one?
kept looking at the camera?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I like that. That's kind of like I mean, Ferris Bueller is probably the movie that everybody thinks about when they think of something like that. About they should think of Bob Hope.
yeah,
Um, yeah, but I think it's fun because it makes it kind of interactive.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
people
well,
that went to college, especially college in Vermont, will really appreciate your story, your script here.
yeah, I
There's a lot of
have a
irony,
great suspicion that
but
they'll help fund it.
I mean, there's a lot of irony to it as well. Just like the things that people are saying and stuff, and then how you end it with those clever quotes. So you have an ultimate ending as well. So
Well, it's funny. It seems like at least, and I don't know if you feel this way or not, but it seems to me that out of the scripts I've written, it, it losing control and this one both have kind of good sound bites at the end of them.
yes,
Yeah, like for those who don't know, I did a movie called Losing Control. uh, Thomas's fiance was kind enough to play the part of uh, a hallucination that I was having in the in the script, and it she uh, she did good with it, but everybody after I showed it to everybody, it kept saying, oh my God, I love that line, and of I'm your Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's hysterical because that was just me kind of trying to throw in a little pop culture
Yeah.
and make it snappy dialogue between me and the hallucination. And for some reason, everybody just latched onto that. In this one, I think everybody's going to latch on to two things. The hair hath no fury like a woman scorned,
Yeah.
and the fine, but I shake hands with you, but I see you're busy.
Yeah. And even when Jeff says, "Bitch is mad at me because I kicked her out of bed." Oh, like no shit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why I came up with that. Uh, uh, hair hath no fury like a woman scorned. Can you imagine what would happen if the people that I'm talking about and writing about were to find this stuff?
Yeah. I don't think they'll come after you though.
Yeah,
You'll be lucky if they can walk and drive straight based on the story.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that was so strange just watching the woman stagger off down the street.
Yeah.
And the sun was rising while it was happening, so she was walking off into the sunrise, and and me and Steve were standing there, our heads turned to the right, watching her, and our mouths were hanging open, like, eh.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's like very anticlimactic, right?
yeah, yeah. Well, and the funny part is, the climactic was it was the shake hands with everybody, say you're busy.
Right.
It, but you have to have like almost two or three climaxes uh, to do that. So that's why I put in that hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and
Yeah. No,
I
that's good.
include that
Good.
it bitch is mad at me because I kicked her out of bed. Because normally when I tell the story, I just crop it at the I'll shake hands with the best, see you're busy, because that's the one that gets the biggest laugh. But
Yeah.
it feels more complete, I think, with the other stuff in there. What do you think?
No, I think so. I agree with that. And I like how you kept track of time too. How it gets progressively like earlier and later in the morning.
Uh, yeah, it was, and
How did
that's the
you
way it
survive
actually
that night?
happened.
Like it's just surreal. You must have been so tired.
Well, that's the funny part. I was, but then, like, of all things, I went into history class that afternoon, and the guy that was on the couch with the woman, uh, it, he was in my history class.
Really?
Yeah. And all I could picture was his naked ass doing the woman on the couch who was looking at her watch going, is that about it?
Oh boy. I bet you never sat in that part of the couch before. Or after that, I mean.
I never sat on that couch, period, after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the funny part. Uh, when I was talking to uh, the kids the next year after that, they said, uh, you know, we want to get rid of the couch. And I said, by all means, go ahead. Because here's the story.
Yeah.
And everybody laughed at it, but they were also thoroughly repulsed. So they it took a box cutter to it and you know sledgehammer stuff. They're beating the crap out of the couch, and for whatever the reason, it wound up that the school fined them for destroying school property, which you know later on in the series, I'll tell the knife throwing incident where some people threw knives at ceiling fans and narrowly missed me in the process.
Is that going to be another part of the script, you think?
Well, not the current script, but it will be in one of the future scripts.
Yeah. I mean, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it's almost at that time that you pick me up at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're supposed to come and get me at 4.
Is that going to be like a prelude to all these stories?
Is there going to be a prelude to them? What do you mean?
I guess I mean analogously, like, is that going to be one of the first stories you tell to set the scene for college? Kind of.
Well, I just kind of thought that it would be good to every now and again have like the strange party stories, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, that said,
And don't forget wine shot evening with margaritas.
yeah, 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 that was a gem. I'm not going to out you on the podcast for this, but Thomas did something that night that prompted his fiance to say, "What does that mean, Thomas Sawyer?" And I haven't let him forget it since.
Yeah.
You remember what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
But oh boy. So that was interesting. I guess speaking of movies and stuff, we'd originally gone to what you had seen. So you saw uh, Captain Phillips and Gravity.
Yeah.
My uh, most recent film in theaters was Machete Kills. And that was good. It's funnier than the first one. Uh, but it's
I
also
still have to see it.
ridiculous action. There's like 40 people dead in the first 2 minutes of the movie.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And there's also and that's after the faux trailer that opens the thing, but it's absolutely hysterical uh, to see the trailer part of it because they advertise Justin Bieber as playing uh, the robot in space in the
Uh
Nats
huh.
Machete movie, and it, when they say Justin Bieber as the robot, somebody turns around and starts shooting the robot.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah. I just about fell out of my chair laughing at that. My dad just had a
Oh,
big grin on his face. I was doubled up in laughter.
that's awesome.
Yeah, they're at the point where my sides hurt before I could get into that scene of the movie.
Hmm.
But boy, oh boy.
Oh, speaking of movies, did I ask you is Escape Plan supposed to be good? That's
Escape
the
plan.
Stallone
Yeah, yeah.
Schwarzenegger.
That looks good to me anyway. I don't know how people feel now that they're not doing the box office that they used to.
Yeah.
But for those who don't know, Escape Plan is God. I just had it in my head. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. Uh, so that comes out sometime soon, if I recall. And then Stallone has another one coming out at Christmas with Robert De Niro, titled
Yeah.
Grudge Match.
Yeah. But,
I wonder if Sarah would want to see that with you.
yeah, maybe. That's tricky.
I'm I'm figuring if she liked Rambo, she'd like some of these action films, but I could be wrong.
Hmm. Yeah, she does.
Uh, so I guess getting off of the subject of movies because we just went all over the board with it. It what's what else is new with you these days besides the aforementioned stuff?
Besides the class stuff,
Yeah,
or the apartment.
what's going on with your your wedding? How's that progressing?
Oh, I didn't tell you about engagement pictures. Did you happen to see them on Facebook? Got two freebies.
Yep.
Yeah, so we got those on Friday, last Friday when Sarah was up visiting for my birthday, early celebration,
Yeah.
and we explored one of the big malls down here called the Domain. It's like a big upscale place, but we went there for some music and dinner. It was really nice. Um, I haven't seen any wild boar yet. I did see one like antelope, like deer creature down here.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of wild cats in Austin.
Oh, there are.
Yeah, I would never think that myself, huh?
I,
Pretty interesting.
yeah, you wouldn't think.
But I don't know, man. School basically consumes my life. You've been through it, you know. It's like hell, basically.
Oh yeah, but it's 10 times worse because you're in grad school trying to get a doctorate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the thing. I
I
just
feel like
wanted
getting a
to.
doctorate from the Three Stooges right now instead.
Yeah, Mulberry cheese, Mulberry cheese. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, I just want to remind you though, in terms of the grad school, it doesn't get any easier
yeah.
as time goes on. As a matter of fact, it gets worse.
It's worse. Just like your allergies, right?
Yeah. Wasn't that a friggin' nightmare today?
Oh yeah.
I For those who don't know, Thomas and I both have allergies, and they can act really severe sometimes. In my case, uh, it, I have dust allergies, so I'm constantly sneezing and hacking up a lung and what have you. Thomas, I think if I recall correctly, you have the like the outdoor and some dust allergy.
Yeah, yeah. Mostly like pollen and like what do you call it, grasses and stuff like that. I'm allergic to.
Uh-huh. No, that's fair enough. Uh,
Hmm.
so I guess for the purposes of moving along again, uh, the the plan that you and I have at this point is to hang out at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Did you have any idea of where you'd want to go to eat with Sarah?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, everything's open on Black Friday, right? So,
Presumably.
well, we know you don't want to go back to Ted Montana Bar and Grill.
Oh, no. I'm not going anywhere near that place.
And our favorite place in Friendly's closed down, right? The one in Westboro.
Yeah.
We still have the one in Framingham. You like TGF Fridays?
Not really.
Do you like... We always go to Ruby Tuesdays.
Yeah, but that's wicked expensive.
It's expensive now?
It always has been, dude. Last time we went there, it was like $65 plus.
I think that's because we had a bunch of drinks, Nathan.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's the purpose of going out to some place like that, is to have a few drinks.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, the food isn't cheap there, though.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like overall a lot of places are upping their price to at least 50 cents these days. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other places to go to. There's like Chicago Bar and Grill.
That's true.
You ever been there? It's good stuff.
Yeah. Well, how would you feel about, if I can get the directions from my parents, how would you feel about going to maybe TJ's or something?
To BJ's?
TJ's.
Oh, TJ's.
Yeah, it's in Ashland.
Yeah, sure. That's not far away.
Yeah. And it's reasonably priced for what it is.
Sounds good to me.
I can tell you they got a great cheesesteak there.
I'm always in the mood for cheesesteak.
Same here.
Yeah.
Or there's always Nick's pizza there in Ashland.
Yeah, man, we got to get you to come down to Texas so you can have a meat cuisine with cheese. All the barbecue meat you can eat.
Yeah, barbecue for some reason doesn't agree with me very well these days.
Oh, really?
Ever since I went to college, my stomach's been screwed up. So, yeah, everything's.
They literally got inside you, didn't they? Burlington College.
Oh, yeah, because I've talked about this before, but I have chronic depression, and that's bad enough as is. But then it gets significantly worse with the PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder.
From the college.
Yeah, because of what the college was doing. I mean, it was non-stop violations, mean, horrible things to say to people, and it went on for 4 years.
Oh.
But that's why I think it was hysterical when I had a meeting with the president of the college, and I said, you've been violating civil rights laws. That's not good. You know what? What are you going to do? And she said, Well, you know what, Nathan, I don't think you understand what it takes to run a college. I said, I don't think you do either.
That shut her off, I bet, right?
Yeah. Well, at that point, she cocked her head to the left and had this look on her face like, well, he's got me there.
Too bad you didn't have a camera at that point, right?
Yeah. Well, I've been having people say to me every time they hear that story, too bad you didn't have a camera or at least an audio recording device. Yeah. But
Mm.
hey, shit happens, and here we are.
That's
Uh,
true.
let's see here.
That's
What
true.
else? Have you talked to your brother recently, Jonathan?
Jonathan?
Yeah,
Yeah, he is a senior now.
in
Can you
college.
believe it?
Yeah. Well, you're 4 years apart.
Well, I know that. It's hard for me to believe, maybe just because I'm his brother. But yeah, he's doing really well. He's going through all his like seminar, like culminating seminar exams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you went through it. Well, yeah, you went through it with your movie and stuff like that, and the presentation you gave. So he's doing like something similar to that for chemistry. You know? So he's really busy. But I guess in the spring semester he'll be a little more free, so he'll be able to hopefully enjoy college a little more.
Well, they always say, oh, I have more spare time, and you don't. You know,
Right.
yeah. You were particularly busy though in college because you were going out constantly to various places. You were hanging out with uh, people. You had classes. You had a girlfriend who's now your fiance, and all that jazz. I was busting my ass purely academically and barely hung out with people. But when I did, I tried to make the most out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a there's a guy, Michael Shore, and he's a character, but he and I would, after a while of talking, get into a rhythm of doing comedy that played well off of each other. And we would get quite loud laughing at it. And at one point, Michael Shore had a roommate that was sleeping like 24/7, failing all of his classes and what have you. And, and the guy comes out and he says, "Can you keep it down? I'm sleeping here." So, yeah, we quiet down, we go back to basic mundane talking, then we start revving up again and getting louder and louder. The guy, it comes out, he's like, "Really? Can you freaking stop?" And then from there, it was, yeah, again, repeat process a couple more times. Finally, the guy gets so frustrated with it, he yells at uh, Michael Shore and I to knock it off. Uh, and Michael Shore, who's basically a Valium, uh, it says it to him, uh, with all due respect, "Shut the fuck up, bitch."
Oh
And
man.
and I had never seen him that angry,
Yeah.
but it was absolutely hysterical to see.
Mm.
And needless to say, the guy that was failing and whatnot didn't come back for the spring semester, but it was absolutely hysterical. And I still don't let Michael Schur forget about that. Same way he
Mm.
doesn't let me forget about some of my brilliant moments at
Mm.
the school.
We'll tell him another podcast, right?
Yes and no. I mean, my stuff was always, rubbing people the wrong way because I have a disability, and people in Vermont don't like people with disabilities,
Mm.
or at least in Burlington, Vermont.
I see.
It's this pseudo intellectual, pseudo liberal, liberal, liberal arts college.
Yeah. Aren't they all?
Yeah, yeah, they are, and they just
That's
get
what they,
better and better with time.
yeah. Being pseudo.
Right?
Huh.
Yeah,
Well, we should end on a higher note.
yeah, we should. Let's see what. Let's see. I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to seeing you at Thanksgiving, being able to hang out, do goofy stuff.
Yeah. Maybe play some Bond or something.
Yeah,
Like the good old days.
yeah. Well, do you guys have the N64 still?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so we could always do that multiplayer.
Yep. Or we can go play Nightfire or something.
Yeah, that's true, but you'd have to have a PS3 at the.
Yeah. Well, we have a PS2. We just gotta hook it up. But
Well, you still
don't you
got the
wish that
PS.
they would transfer all those old games to PS3 for like $1? That'd be easy.
Uh-huh. That would be nice. Uh, so you've got the PS2 at the house, is it?
Yeah,
So we could always do that.
for sure.
Uh, uh, I I
It's
can't
funny.
believe
You
how many
smirking.
hours we've spent doing video games,
Yeah.
and I still can't beat you at monkey ball darts.
That was such a fluke. I feel really bad about that one. That's something I'm going to be doing purgatory for, I think.
Hmm. Yeah. For those who don't know, Thomas and I take turns on monkey ball darts, and uh, so we're taking turns back and forth, and getting a few hundred at a time. I think my highest one was something like uh, it, uh, what was it, 935, because I like beating you by like 35 points, and you had set the record at 900. and
Yeah.
and I got 935. I was like, oh, he's never gonna be able to top this. Somehow you got all the like times threes of like the big numbers, and wound up somehow getting like 1050 or something like that. And I keep coming close, like maybe hitting 1,000 or just under, but I can't break that barrier to beat you. And your brother doesn't help matters because he's always saying, "Come on, you can do it. You can beat Thomas." It's like, no, I can't.
Oh,
Uh, anyway,
yeah.
we should
Get your
wrap it.
revenge.
Huh?
You'll get your revenge somehow.
Oh, believe me, I'm already plotting what I'm going to say to your fiance when I see her.
Yeah, okay.
Incidentally, this is probably going to be one of the things I say to her, but did I tell you I read an article recently that said that it, uh, men who cheat on their spouses uh, are known for liking uh, Guinness beer?
Are known for liking?
Yeah,
Okay. Where did this come out?
it was some stupid article on the Huffington Post.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I read that, and it reminded me you like Guinness.
Oh yeah. I drink a lot of it in Ireland with hot wall.
Yeah. So should I tell Sarah that she's got to be careful with you?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, she likes Guinness too.
Yeah, but she's not a guy.
Yes, I know.
And they didn't say anything about females liking Guinness, so
Oh, they didn't?
uh,
Okay.
no, it was strictly men.
Oh boy. I'm
Oh
in
yeah.
for it.
Yeah. So anyway, I know this has been a high energy podcast like we normally do, but
We're
to
both
be
depressed with
fair, it is.
allergies
Huh?
and being separate from each other
Yeah.
with our respective living situations, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's plenty of an excuse, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is an exploratory, podcast in the sense that we've never done one long distance and over the internet before,
Right.
live.
Right. And presuming that the audio turns out okay, we can always do it again.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with you in the next few months anyway.
Right.
Because then it might not be so long distant.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Uh,
All right.
anyway, yeah, with that, I'm Nate Taves.
And Thomas Sawyer.
And thank you for listening. The next podcast that you will hear here is the Halloween podcast. I'm still trying to get my dad in on that. Might not be able to, but I'll certainly keep you posted.
Too scary.
Huh?
Don't be too scary.
Well, that's kind of hard to do. When I was younger, I was so ugly I had to trick or treat over the phone. Uh, yeah, I stuck my head out the window one time and got arrested for mooning.
Oh my God.
You set me up for Rodney Dangerfield jokes.
Yeah.
So
And you
anyway,
ain't getting no respect.
and why should that start now? Uh, so with that, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And Thomas, for God's sake,
Yeah.
behave yourself the next few months.
Okay, I will.
Alrighty,
Bye bye.
bye.